I'm wrong. Scholar come from the word. That's where you get the word school, schooler, scholar. You get into the books. You get into research. So we are all scholars, including Vocab Malone, but he's a law scholar. He's lost. He's doing all this study for nothing. He better hope like hell he's an Israelite. It says it holds the view that the Christian church or the Antichrist church has succeeded the Israelites, meaning national Israel. Well, what was the Apostle Paul talking about in Romans the 9th chapter? As the definitive people of God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So these clowns, these lost souls, these devils, these antichrists, and that's what you got to call them, antichrists. They're basically saying anytime you read about whether it's the Old Testament or the New Testament, anytime it's talking about the Israelites, it's really talking about the church, the Christians, Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Canaanites, all these different Ishmaelites, Elamites, all these different people coming together, wearing a suit and tie or whatever, dressed up, drinking grape Kool-Aid, reading scriptures. Anyway, let me read on. It says, holds the view that the Christian church has succeeded the Israelites as the definitive people of God based upon the New Covenant. And we're going to read about the New Covenant, and we're going to see if it's referring to the Christian, the new Antichrist church. It says people of God. So basically the Israelites got to take a back seat. They just asked out. You're going to have Moabites in the kingdom. You have all these mixed people in the kingdom. And Israelites are just going to be in the back of the bus. Are you out your fucking mind? That's why why would Captain Syriac want to debate this clown? And he doesn't believe, Vocab Malone doesn't believe the crap that he's spewing. Vocab Malone doesn't believe the shit that he's shoveling. He doesn't believe that. He's been chosen and ordered by his overlords to try to upset the prophecies of Israel waking back up. We here at Great Millstone, GMS, we look at Vocab Malone as a clown, man. We don't take the guy seriously at all. He's a clown. He doesn't even know the scriptures. He's clueless. He's clueless. He's absolutely clueless when it comes to the prophecies. And that goes for James White. James White doesn't know the prophecies either. It says, or it holds the view that the new covenant, and we're going to read about the new covenant, has replaced or superseded the Mosaic covenant, which is the old covenant. You're going to find out it's the same covenant. The only difference is that the Most High is going to put the Mosaic covenant, he's going to program us to keep it. Scriptures say, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? So he's going to make us perfect. 1 Corinthians 15 chapter. We shall be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. And when that change comes, we will be perfect in the law. That's when the new covenant is going to apply. When that change comes. Because Captain Syriac said he's under the new covenant. No, he's not under the new covenant. You got to be changed to be under the new covenant. And when the new covenant comes into play, all Israel that are delivered is destroyed, we get beamed up in the ships. That's when Israel that defies this thing, they're going to get put to death. So what's going to come out of that? Only the elect of Israel, which will be changed. And that goes for the women too. And all of our children that are born on this earth, which is a new kingdom, they're gonna have the laws. You don't gotta teach them the laws. In other words, you're gonna teach them how to speak, you're gonna teach them how to do this, but the laws are gonna be in them. They're not gonna, the Israelites are not gonna break the laws. We're gonna be perfect. Perfect. And so from a superstitionist point of view, just by continuing to exist outside the church, the Jews dissent. This view directly contrasts with dual covenant theology, which holds that the Mosaic covenant remains valid for Jews. Supersessionism has formed a core tenet of the Christian churches for the majority of the existing Christian traditions to have championed dual covenant theology, including the Roman Catholics, Reformed, and that's what vocab is, a reformist, and Methodist teachings. This is all that white, Edomized, what do you call it, Renaissance Christianity from so-called white people, Edomites, which are really red, have taught that the moral law continues to stand. Oh, really? The moral law? Why is David Wood dressing up with his wife's negligee? Subsequent to him because of the Holocaust, some mainstream Christian theologians and denominations have rejected supersessionism. Oh, because of the whole thing with the Holocaust, you have so there's a split there. There's a split there among you Christians. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close on this. Bear me for a minute. I'm just looking for my phone so I can get some light. Let me do it this way. Hopefully this is on. Unfortunately, it's not. Let me try this. Bear me for 1 minute. That's Satan for you. That's Satan for you. Let me do it this way. Okay. Okay, Hebrews. Hebrews 8. And for you that been in this thing, this is really for our newer brothers. This is not for y'all that been in this thing for years. You already know this by heart. go right to the 7th verse, which is a new covenant. Then it says Jeremiah 31, verse 31 to 34. You can read that if you want. It says, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been found for the second. For finding fault with them, the Israelites, he saith, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. So where are the Christians at? And why did he mention Israel and Judah separately? Because they were split. I mean, this is not hard. This is easy, man. This is easy. And it says the same thing in Jeremiah 31 and 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, national Israel, and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. It's talking about the same people. So this new covenant is for the people that were giving the old covenant. Anyway, I'm gonna say shalom. Like I said, you brothers and some of you sisters that have been in this thing for years, you already know this. You already know this. This is simple, basic stuff. And lately we've been basically going back into the basics. And you have Israelites that buck up against what we're saying. So you gotta go back. How can you get Christians out of this, man?